Hello, welcome back to the Speaking of Tea podcast, where we talk about all things tea, poetry, and the lifestyle surrounding the two. I am your host, Rachelle Mecca, and I'm a poet, an author, a life coach, and general creative artist. Come on, what is it that we're really all here to do is to create in this world? Because we can't let AI be the only ones doing that, right? Oh, I'm excited to be back. It has been yet another little pause. Little, as in longer, maybe a couple month pause. Just like I had experienced in the summer, but this one had more meaning, I promise you, and we'll get to that. Today I am going to be drinking a tea called Red Rhyme. That's from a 2022 harvest, and I got it from the Global Tea Hut. I decided to pull this one out because I was kind of just reflecting on a lot of my tea teachers and where I came from in my own, learning in my journey, the different teas that I've tasted and who's guided me. And Global Tea Hut has had a huge impact on my tea learning and growth as a chajin, we'll put it simply. And this one, as I recall, was absolutely wonderful. So, it is, as you may understand, a black tea, but also red is actually its own whole category, which has its very similar qualities to black. But black has more of a fermentation closer to Chopur, whereas red is, I'll have to check out some journals to describe it properly, but we're going to enjoy this. I love the super, I don't know what I can show you, long leaves that are in this one. Maybe if I empty it out into the teapot a little bit more, I'll be able to show it. At least this is only for those watching the video and not listening to audio. But for those listening to the audio, they are these longer strands of full leaf black tea. I'm showing this on the video as well. So long strands of full leaf that are twisted, like very visibly twisted, but not so much that you can't, I don't know, tell what it is. It's really quite lovely. Kind of seeing the leaf in its fullness and this craftsman. Do I really want to say craftsmanship? Am I really caring about that right now? I don't know. But yes, the craft that went behind the finished product of these leaves. Okay, the craft. How about that? I don't know who made it. I'll be honest with you, I don't know who made it, so. But that's still part of the big dream, is to start traveling to these tea countries, meeting the farmers and the masters who are finishing the leaves. Oh, I don't mean it in a romantic sexual way like that. Maybe it just sounded like that. I caught myself. Oh, you know what? Tea is romantic to me. Tea is sexual to me. I mean, even like a nice teapot with just like, or a teacup with like really like texturedness to it. It's just like, If you're a tea or a pottery nerd, you'll understand. I was just looking at pictures of tea on a website and I'm just like, oh my god. The textures of the leaves and the different colors. Like you can like, when you're an experienced tea drinker, you can look at a pour cake and just be like, oh my god, I'm drooling. All right. 1 cup for you. And 1 cup for me. Cheers. Well, the session might be slightly interrupted or longly interrupted because I actually had plans to go out to an open mic, but we'll see how quickly I get rushed out the door or if there's an interruption. And, well, I will probably edit out that interruption. However, for now, we are going to enjoy this first steam. There's a certain warmth that is more than warmth with this one. It's like mouth-filling gentleness of full-bodied black tea. Oh, wow, I just feel it resonating in my mouth. Well, thank you for enjoying that moment with me. I do wonder if people are really pausing with me when they're listening to the podcast, if they know to just listen and be with themselves, be in the moment, fully take it in and experience. Or do they just skip ahead until the next moment when I'm talking? That's all a personal choice, I suppose. But I just wonder what people actually do. Alright. Oh, taking off a layer. That feels nice. And I also really like this shirt, so that's what I wanted to show on video. Well, the fun and exciting thing about this episode is that it is my 30th episode. I'm going to throw a bunch of numbers at you pretty soon here. It is my 30th episode, and I am turning 30 tomorrow. So, I don't know if I'm excited about that or I'm not. See, I'm battling with myself. Of course, 30 is like the new 20, maybe they say. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, things can be different when I'm 30. And they are. I will get there. And then I found myself grieving earlier today, just like, these are the final moments of my 20s. Oh my god, I'm saying that out loud and I'm about to cry. These are the final moments of my 20s. You just live, all this time, and then it's not real until it's about to be real, It's going to be exciting. I have been planting the seeds of my life for all of the past year. I've done so much personal development. I have invested in myself, in my business training. And, when you invest in your business, it's more than just the business, the thing that you offer that is making you money. But when you invest in your business, you're really investing in how you are showing up in the world, what you really want to do, what it is that's going to have an impact. So it's really about the bigger thinking, the bigger expression, and the bigger sense of what you're really doing in the world. And it's been a really big journey, and I've loved it. And at the same time, I kind of wonder if all I've really circled back to is the exact same thing. Is loving tea deeply and having the desire to share that love, the mindfulness, the grounding, the experience, the just pure love of this leaf and everything that's embodied with it. When I say tea, it's not just drinking the tea, of course, right? It's the study of it. It's the understanding of global impact. It's the learning about different styles. It's the tasting. It's everything, right? And it's just so much philosophy and, well, Taoism, coming back to this tea being from the Global Tea Hut and one of my teachers. It's like, how do I put it? I was on a flow there, but I have to sip a little bit more for the knowledge to come through. Oh, this richness. Oh. So, yeah, it's like I've circled back to doing the exact same thing, which is, beautiful. And I definitely have so much more now packed into my being. And I've transformed so much, and I am the exact same person. And the Global Tea Hut is a tea and Taoism magazine, so they write a lot about tea, of course, and they're in the magazines, and then they also write about Taoism and the connection with the Buddhism and tea culture. And just one of the things that, it's more of an old Zen saying, I believe, but like, if I never had tea again, like, would I be any different? It's like, well, I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't be the same person without having tea regularly in my life. What are you talking about? And at the same time, it's like, well, I've still learned and been transformed by tea, so I would, if I were still thinking about tea, I'd still have the loving experience that it has brought to my life. I don't know. I started getting into tea and practicing it when I was 22. And so it's been now just about 8 years that I've been studying and working with the leaf. And yeah, I mean, I'm very happy that this is the direction I went into. I mean, I was just finishing university and I went to work at a tea house. I'm like, oh, that's different than a coffee house that I've worked at many times. Cool. I'll give it a go. And so I didn't realize how big of a world it is. So basically, I finished a 4-year degree in media and I went straight into the tea industry. And, that's what I've cared about the most. I mean, I've done a lot of media production over time. I'm doing this podcast. I do a lot of writing. I've published books. I've done all of these different things. And at the same time, what's always been with me is tea. And a quick pause. I still have some blabbering to do about Aquarius season. Happy Aquarius!
Happy Aquarius! Oh! Oh my god.
Yay!
Oh my god.
Woo!
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, and it starts the birthday, it's celebrating my birthday is also celebrating going into the Aquarius season.
There you go.
As you can see, I had a little interruption, but I am definitely putting that celebrate Aquarius. So also, yes, again, my 30th episode and I am turning 30. Woohoo! We're now on a totally different track than where we had paused that. Anyways. Oh, and today is the start of Aquarius. Woohoo! It's January 21st. You'll probably be seeing this uploaded on tomorrow. Which will be January 22nd on my actual birthday. And yeah, so happy Aquarius. I don't know where I'm at now. Why do I love Aquarius? For a million reasons. Because I am one, and we're the best. We're your favorite people to have around in your life. I mean, when do you have an Aquarius and you're like, oh, I hate them? Maybe sometimes. There are some that are annoying. We're humanitarians. We are big thinkers. We're inventors. We're like your best friend. We're so motivated and so energetic. And there can also be moments, I guess, when we seem cold-hearted. I don't know. It's harder for me to see it than for others. But I had a boss who was an Aquarius, and, a lot of people had different kinds of problems with her. And Granted, they're probably, you know, true experiences. I mean, they are. I mean, I don't deny people's experiences. However, um, when I maybe had a different relationship because I understood her differently, or we communicated differently. And when people were like, "Oh, she's like this," and I'm like, "Yeah, but like it's because of that," you know. Like it just her Aquariusness made sense to me, whereas others who just maybe came off in a totally different way, or because I don't know, maybe because Aquarius and especially air signs, I think we just have a different sense of understanding each other. And you know, maybe different signs are just have a different, you know, effect in relationship with other signs, right? Like I don't know. Yeah, you get what I mean. I was going to go and try and describe different signs, and I didn't really know what qualities to even bring up about anything else. But oh, but I'll say this period of my life, I have definitely been feeling my moon sign a lot more than I have. I mean, like my moon sign is Pisces, so let's chalk that up to me being a romantic or hopeless romantic emotional poet. But the Aquariusness comes through, I would say, in that poetry because it's a lot of like I work with my sense of curiosity and my wonderment, I guess, and trying to make sense of something is how I kind of present a poem through, without you know me thinking of a poem at the top of my head to be able to really use to describe it. I think that's like a you know to share with you. But I kind of like working towards some kind of a resolution or a resolution of just understanding or a how do I say a wrap up, you know, a summary or a like this is a view, you know, on something. I don't know exactly where I was going with that. But anyways, oh, I was talking about my Pisces moon. Well, I took some time off again from doing podcast for a while, because I just wasn't really motivated to get up and speak, to be on camera, to get myself set up right, and just doing this. And I don't know when the last one even was. Maybe sometime in October, early November, maybe. I got the audio up, but I still never even got up the video. So that's basically going to go up at the same time as this. But so yeah, what happened there? Well, this time around, it took me until about November 12th to actually find out officially that I'm pregnant. So you know, I didn't know what was going on for a good while, or that anything was going on. I was just not as motivated, or I was kind of doing these different like sort of internal reset programs, like I was saying earlier about like different like business trainings that I've been doing. A lot of it is self work, and so I've been kind of like I'd been in the mode of like working through or understanding different parts of myself and what my motivations and who I really am, and just looking at different elements of like of myself, and especially I'm looking at my sense of leadership, and whether I'm doing it right or doing it enough, and da da da, da. I don't know. It's there's a whole lot going on in there. I have journals, you know. My last journal was a lot of these kind of like note taking and inner reflections. So anyway, that's a lot of heart work. And then it's like kind of overworking your brain a little bit, and you know, anyways. And then I was also battling a lot of like fatigue and everything. I don't know. So anyway, finally I'm like, oh, I don't have my period. That's weird. Generally one explanation for that. and and so, you know, I did actually like find out fully, you know, and then it was like really hitting me, and I'm like really in the throes of like this deep fatigue that is I'm very lucky to, or not lucky, happy to find out is very normal in your first trimester. So then it was like I understand why I have no motivation to do my podcast, right? Like, I am in bed, I am laying down a lot, I am also kind of keeping this to myself, and this is like an inner, they say not to really talk about it until you're done, you're in your first trimester, because that's when you're in the safe zone of what do you call it, from miscarriage. And so then I was also trying to keep quiet of it, but like it's really hard to talk about like in like a half hour or an hour long podcast, because yeah, these always end up being an hour. Really hard to not talk about that and talk about just like other things, it's like that's all that was on my mind. It's life changing. So that's why, yeah, I guess amongst multiple things. And I just coming back into the swing of it, it's like, I don't know. It's like really easy for me to sit up and do the podcast when I'm here and just talk, because I just go free flow. General, maybe an idea, but I'm also just sipping the tea and going with the flow. I feel like I'm offering a lot of explanations that no one's asking. But anyways, yeah. What was it? Back to my numbers thing. It's my 30th episode, and I am turning 30 tomorrow. It is the 21st today. It's the beginning of Aquarius. We celebrate that on my birthday on the 22nd. 23rd, actually, I'm having like a whole party over at the pool hall. Good gathering space. People can play pool. Obviously, I'm bringing pizza and cake. Most of you, if you're listening, you're not invited. No, I'm just kidding. If you want to come by, come by. If you are anywhere where I am, if you're hearing this, if you are zippy enough or lucky enough to even hear this before that. Oh, so yeah. Oh, and writing project, because I do want to let you know about other things that I'm up to. I had decided, and I have also implemented, that I started a pregnancy blog on Substack. Substack is really a lovely place to write. There's just a lot of like, I don't know, just the few times that I just wrote something on there just to kind of like write an article or a blog, it was just something more passionate and poetic sort of flowed out of me. That's not poetry, but delivering a moment and a feeling really came through in more of this passionate, poetic way. So, and so then I'm like, I really want to start a pregnancy vlog, because I am a poet. These words do come out and more passionately and more real, and that's like a lot of the vibe of the writers who are on there. General social media, people will read your long form posts, or they might not, right? And they're not all there for that. They might be there for the memes or the reels and the shorts and the videos and the pictures. But on Substack, people are really there to actually write. So that's special. And a couple of inspirations for getting on there more throughout the past year. I mean, I know from my mentor, Des, she started writing on there, I don't know, over a year ago, but she also was kind of like one of the first to truly introduce me to that platform, and sort of what slowly got me going. And then there's another podcaster in which she, Raquel something, and she has her podcast, I had it a second ago, Your Inner Magic. And then she was talking about her Substack, so then I followed her, and I'm like, okay, there's a little bit more inspiration happening here. So when I decided I want to do it, I decided I'm calling it Diary of a Pregnant Poet. To talk about the divine feminine experience and my own journey, and, maybe normalize different stuff that's happening to women, or write things that, are unique to me, my own experience, but then I realize is probably quite universal to women's experiences. So that's what I wanted to write and share about. So right now it's like kind of like playing catch up from all the journal entries that I wrote during the earlier period. My last post was just about the day I did my pregnancy test. It was pretty fun. I planned that it happened during a slumber party, a 90s themed slumber party that my friends decided to throw. I'm like, this is it. This is when I'm gonna do it. There's a whole post about it, and maybe I'll just recite or talk about it in the next podcast, but I gotta go here soon. And I'm going to put a link to my Substack in the episode notes description here, because you might be listening to this and now wondering how do you read more about it. So yeah. Anyway, I'm playing catch up, and then I'm gonna write more about what's happening in the current land of life. Current land, but current period. I don't know. Lovely. All right. But I'm going to wrap this up soon because I am going to be going to an open mic. So before I go, I just wanted to do a card pull for me, for you, for the energy of whomever is meant to experience this message. I'm pulling from the herbal astrology set here because, well, it's a tea podcast. So you get to learn about in herb astrology. I don't know. Sorry. Again, I'm getting back into this. But if you're chilling, you're vibing with me, so that's all I'm counting on. And no, there is no tea in this deck, so it's gonna be whatever else. Ooh, I didn't. All right. You know what? I'm gonna tap that again, and I'm gonna just break it. Who's coming out? Shisandra. Grace. Oh, I think I remember pulling this specifically during my 24-hour live because my friends who was watching says that she loves working with this herb. So, Grace. Does it remind me that I need to have grace with myself for doing this podcast and being here in the present? All right. Inner beauty, inspirations, euphoria, visions, supernatural powers, and synergy. In traditional Chinese medicine, flavors are seen as energetic symbols within a plant, demonstrating its distinct healing traits. Shisandra berry contains all 5 flavors: sweet, bitter, salty, sour, and pungent, directly signaling its all-encompassing and highly medicinal nature in earning its name Wu Wei Zi, or 5-flavored berry. I'm going to skip ahead here to the guidance. Like the Temperance card in the tarot, the goddess holds a cup of water representing the subconscious as she crosses over a stream of water representing the conscious mind. Shisandra's medicine teaches us about the high alchemy of beauty, grace, and harmony of dualities. Like the medicine of swan, Shisandra is here today to remind you of the grace within balance, patience, and moderation. You are being invited to allow life force to flow through you without force or resistance. Follow your visions and pay close attention to the subtle language in your body and surroundings. If you feel out of orbit or aloof, make time to ground. Grounding will only facilitate your development to a higher consciousness. Nice. And she's also got this pouring, sorry, I'm close to the mic. I'm also holding up a card to the camera. This woman is pouring water from cup to cup, which is exactly Aquarius is the pouring of water, is the symbol. So there we go. Everything is connected. Happy Aquarius time. Go manifest your dreams. Okay. Cheers.